go. Starting definitions for test 3. We're on page 247 to start off. Our very first definition deals with the standard normal distribution. It's this one right here. You want to know all of this. Standard normal distribution. You want to know what the mean and standard deviation is. You also want to know what the area under the curve is. Okay. What's wrong? It's just starting already. Hey, but at least you have an extra couple days to look at it. Alright, so we're moving from standard normal distribution. We don't have very many today, by the way. Only about 60. Page 285.
Are you serious?
No, I'm teasing.
Oh, I'm not sure. That's all I did.
Moving on to page 285, central limit theorem. Now, you should know what question 2 is going to say. What does the central limit theorem say and why is it so important? Now, I will draw your attention to the fact that we discussed the central limit theorem for about a half an hour in class one day. Remember we did the pennies and all that stuff? And you should know everything there is to know about the central limit theorem, most of which is found on page 285. I don't want to highlight this whole thing because I'm not even certain I can. Oh, there you go. It is a lot. Okay? Love you. Page 285, central limit theorem. Moving ahead to page 306. Moving ahead to page 306. Normal distribution is an approximation to a binomial. I'll just highlight that. Normal distribution is an approximation to a binomial. Now, I will also point out to you that there's 2 requirements that must be satisfied in order to do that. That is that n times p and n times q must both be greater than or equal to 5. When that's not greater than or equal to 5, you have an issue. Now, students will ask me all the time on the test, what happens if it's not greater than 5 on the test? You ain't got to worry about that. That's my job to worry about that. That's why when you get the test, Olivia, it's always bigger than 5. Okay? But as we were talking about needing to know this stuff, when you do this stuff in practice, when you're out actually working, James, and people are paying you for this, you kind of want to know that that's what you have to do.
Oh, when I'm working in statistics after I get a statistics degree?
Yeah, you want to keep that in mind. That's an important assumption. Okay? It's not an assumption, it's actually just a statement of a check. Okay? If you're one and done, you're probably going to be good the rest of the semester. Just know that's always going to happen. Okay? Alrighty, page 309. Page 309. Continuity correction factor. Everybody remember the continuity correction factor? You remember that, Hilda? That's the plus or minus 0.5. That's the plus or minus 0.5. That's absolutely right. So now we have a moving ahead from page 309 to page 325. Moving ahead from 309 to 325. Point estimate. Point estimate is page 325. Continuing down the bottom of page 325, you're going to find confidence interval, oftentimes referred to as an interval estimate. The term I usually use in class is confidence interval. Okay. And moving on from 325 to 329. Moving on from 325 to 329. Donnie, you okay?
Sure.
That sounded facetious. I don't know that for sure. Page 329, margin of error. Margin of error. Now, in case you do not know, question number 1, test number 3, define the following statistical terms. I have just given you an inclusive list of all the terms that you're responsible for.